Hello, investie besties. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are a returning investie bestie squad member, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate all of you guys being here with me today. On this channel, I am just documenting me and my family of five's journey to something called FIRE, which is financial independence, retire early. And we plan on retiring, y'all, in almost 5 years. We've been on this journey for a couple years. I share real numbers all about our FIRE journey, portfolio updates, just all of the numbers, guys, okay? And I'm hoping to educate and inspire as many of you to get to your financial goals as well, even if it's not FIRE, okay? So I hope that you go on and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and join us. I'm going to be sharing some of our favorite beginner investing apps and brokerages out there, okay? Now, there are a ton of them. If you go to Google and you type in investing apps, brokerages, you're gonna have a list of all of these different types of companies. And just to give you a few of them, there are Acorns, Betterment, you have Wealthfront, you have Stockpile, Robinhood, Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, M1 Finance, Vanguard, Fidelity, you have Cash App, you have Interactive Brokers. There are just so many companies out there that you can use to invest with. And the great thing about it is that investing is so easy and simple nowadays. Like literally anybody can invest when they are ready. Anybody can have access to the stock market. A lot of us are on our phones all the time, let's just be honest, and we can just go ahead to our Play Store or our Apple Store and download one of these apps and have access to building and growing our money over the long term. And so I'm just going to give you guys just a few, because I'll be here all day if I go through each one of these apps, but I'm going to give you 3 apps or platforms that I really enjoy using and that I think will be really, really great for the beginner investor. Now, keep in mind, guys, in my mind, the beginner investor is someone who was very much like me, nervous about investing in the stock market, didn't have a whole lot of investing type of knowledge, but are eager to learn, wanted something that was simple and easy to use, something that was not going to confuse me or be overwhelming as a beginner. So that is the approach that I'm taking. And keep in mind, guys, personal finance is personal. I always say that on this channel, and your girl is not a financial advisor. You guys know I'm about to say my little spiel. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a fiduciary, okay? But your girl teach with the receipts, okay? I back up everything I say with our real numbers, all right, guys? So I hope that you enjoyed this video. But before I go any further, I wanted to give a quick update on our $1 a day investing challenge. Now, I know some of you are doing like the $2 a day version, the $5 a day version. If you want to join us, and it is not too late, because the challenge, the idea is to save up $1 a day. So you could do it actually every day. You could wait till you get paid, or you could just wait till the end of the month, which is the 31st, and just have all of your $1 at once, and then we make our transfers to invest. Our companies for this month is the Disney company and the Vanguard Communications ETF, okay, guys? And so we are trying to become knowledgeable investors to build up our portfolios, and we take it very slow. I mean, $1 a day, less than a cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts or Star Breezy, okay? So go ahead and start with us. You can get the trackers up on my website, mt1finance.com, and join us as we change the face of wealth. So the 3 apps that I'm going to talk about that I have personal experience with that I think would be awesome for beginners are Fidelity. I'm going to be talking about M1, of course. And yes, I know there's a lot of controversy with Robinhood, but we're going to talk about Robinhood today too. And I'm going to keep Robinhood last. Okay, guys, so let's talk about Fidelity. And the reason why I went with Fidelity over, let's say, Vanguard, which I absolutely love. Don't get me wrong. Vanguard is like one of the OGs. Like Vanguard is one of the ones that has been around for a zillion years, really solid, really good. You don't really hear a lot of scandals and things about them in the news. So great, great, great companies. A lot of people have their retirements through them. We have an investing account with Vanguard, but the biggest reason, or the 2 biggest reasons that I suggest Fidelity over Vanguard is, number 1 is that you have access to more buying options. Like you can buy fractional shares a lot more in Fidelity than you can in Vanguard. So if you're doing the $1 a day investing challenge with us, you cannot buy fractional shares inside of Disney because Vanguard does not allow you to do that. Now, Vanguard will allow you to buy like fractional shares if you have what they're called their Admiral type of funds. Those are usually like funds such as VSTAX, okay? That's a really, really great fund, but that is an Admiral fund. It's a minimum amount to get in, but once you meet that minimum threshold to get into that fund, remember we talked about this in this video about how some funds have minimum requirement for you to even get into them. So with VTI, you can just buy it. But with VTSAX, you have to have what I think is $2,000 or $3,000 minimum just to get in the fund. Now, once you meet that minimum and you're in the fund, then you can go ahead and buy like $100 worth of something. But for the beginner out there who don't have access to those type of funds or who don't have access to a company sponsored account, because some people just don't have access to one, I love that Fidelity gives you access to fractional shares with a lot of their funds. And keep in mind, guys, a lot of these funds, whether they're Vanguard based, Fidelity based, have the same type of companies in them. Most funds that are on the stock market have Apple in them, have Facebook in them, have Amazon in them, have Microsoft in them. So you still are getting the same access to some of your favorite companies, okay? But yes, that's one of the biggest reasons why I do suggest Fidelity for a beginner, is because you can put $10, you can put $20, $15 into your future. So you don't need a whole lot of money to start, okay? I want to say that again. You don't need a whole lot of money to start investing. So I don't want that fear to stop you. I want you to go ahead and continue to save for your future. Your future self will thank you, okay? Another reason why I like Fidelity is because of the simple, beginner-friendly interface. I love that Fidelity gives you access to a lot of learning resources. So as a beginner, you may have a lot of questions, even of how to set up the account, okay? But I love that Fidelity has a great customer service line. So yes, you can call and talk to an actual human being, which is a plus for a beginner. I love that Fidelity gives you access to different types of investing accounts, like a tax deferred, taxable brokerage account, or a tax-free account. If you don't know the difference between what I just said, check out this video. That is very important to know, especially when it comes to paying taxes, okay? So Fidelity gives you access to all of those accounts. So you can have with Fidelity your 401k. You can also have a Roth IRA. You can also have a taxable account as well. So I really do love that Fidelity gives you that option. It's almost like a one-stop setup for your investing if you choose to do that. Let's move on to M1. Now, I really am liking M1. I started using M1 a couple months ago, and I have been hearing people talk and sing their praises about M1, and I have to like jump on board as well. I absolutely love M1 Finance, especially for a beginner. One of the things that I absolutely appreciate about M1, what they do for beginner investors, is that the app, the platform is super simple and very easy to use, especially as you are building up your portfolio, as you are building up your shares, whether it's in a stock or whether it's in a fund. And this is very important when for a beginner investor. You want to make sure that you are diversified. You want to see how your allocations are. So let's say you have $1,000 sitting in your M1 account. I love that the pies will show you, okay, you have 50% over here, you have 10% over here. Maybe you want to consider rebalancing a little bit. I love that M1 Finance really helps the beginner to structure their investing over time, because you don't want to just start, but rather you want to start and craft a plan of how you want your money to look. How do you want your stocks and your funds to be allocated over time? Now, that is not something you have to think about right off the bat, but as a beginner, and as I talk to many of you, that is something you start to ask me, like, Shalise, okay, I'm ready to kind of build more of my positions up, and I want to make sure that I am super diversified. I don't want to have, Tesla and Microsoft and Facebook and Apple, four great companies, but all in the same sector, and that's the technology sector. If you want to know more about the different sectors of the stock market, check out this video right here. Really good, simple, easy video that I did that will break all of the sectors and give you examples of companies that are in those sectors. Okay, so check out that video. Another thing that I love about M1 Finance is that it's also easy to research on there. You can easily find companies and pull up information about companies, and the account overall is just easy to set up. M1 Finance really makes it simple, and I love that they were thinking about the beginner investor when they created this platform. Another thing that they do is that they don't allow you to day trade, which I think is absolutely amazing. I know on social media you hear people talk about, well, this stock is going to go up 10 times. You know, you could just type it into YouTube and you'll see so many channels talk about it. But as the beginner, you want to really make sure you understand and are aware that there's a lot of risk associated with it. And most people who do that lose money, okay? And if you don't know what a stock is, if you have a hard time explaining to me what an index fund is versus an ETF, or you don't even know what an ETF stands for, then you should really just stay away from that and protect your money as you continue to invest over the long haul. Remember, we buy and hold good, solid companies and funds. Always works, guys, always works. And keep in mind, M1 Finance has extended their amazing promotion, okay? So a lot of you have used my referral link, and a lot of you have asked me, like, are they extending this anymore? And I said yes, because they are now extending it through the 31st of March. So if you use my code, if you put $100 in your M1 Finance account, you will get an extra $50 bonus, and I will get a bonus as well. It doesn't cost you anything. You just use my referral link. So many of you have used it because you're like, girl, thank you so much for exposing us to this, for teaching us, for helping us. And you know what? I'm always here looking out for y'all. If you're waiting still for your bonus, you did use my link, you did open the account, give M1 Finance some time. And if they're still not there after 2 weeks or so, give them a call and they should be able to look into your account and help you with that. Okay. But I absolutely love M1. I use it with our investing challenge. If you want to join us, tracker is up on the website, but you see me actually investing. You see what I'm clicking on. You see real numbers and all of that jazz. So I do think M1 Finance is a great beginner app for the new investor. Now, let's talk about the last app that I do think is good for beginners, and that is Robinhood. This is despite the debacle with GameStop. But if I'm talking strictly from a beginner investor, something that is simple, easy to use, that has one of the best interfaces, in my opinion, of all of the platforms, it is Robinhood. I love that with Robinhood, literally on the main page, you have everything that you need for a beginner investor. If you go to Robinhood and you type in Apple, for example, okay, it will give you the current price of Apple. It will tell you if Apple is up or down. You have access to a simple chart. So I love that you have access to real data, so you can see in real time, okay, Apple is up or Apple is down. Whereas M1 Finance and Fidelity does not give you access to this. So if you want a little bit more information in terms of how you can read charts, then Robinhood is another good one for you. You will be able to see like the past day, the past week, the past month, the past year. Just really, really nice to look at that information. It'll give you information on market cap. It'll tell you if it pays a dividend. It'll tell you the CEO of the company, which is Tim Cook, by the way, if you did not know that. It'll tell you how many employees, where they're based at, any top news in the company, and analyst ratings. So I really do love that about Robinhood, is that everything is really on one page. It's not overwhelming for the beginner. Again, guys, I'm just talking strictly from what's easy for a beginner investor. I also love that Robinhood allows you to have just a simplified way to buy and sell stocks. You could buy in dollars, you could buy in shares. They have like a buy, a sell. It's really, really simple and easy for a beginner out there as well. And I am currently using Robinhood to build up our dividend portfolio. So as you know, we're trying to retire early and we need some extra income so that we can live on. And dividends is one of those things that we plan on utilizing. So we find good, solid companies that have good values, that have good financials, that pay a nice dividend yield. And we just invest in them, buy and hold. And honestly, guys, if you are interested in dividend investing, stay tuned because I have something special coming up. And I have some new changes to the channel that I think a lot of you would appreciate. So stay tuned because I'm working behind the scenes on some great things for this year. And when I say this year, like near term, okay, guys? And just some bonus like beginner app platform recommendations that I have heard from a lot of people. Did you know that you could actually invest through Cash App? Yes, you can actually invest through Cash App. So if you are using Cash App for a whole lot of other reasons, you can also take some time to just maybe put a little bit of money, maybe $20 into a company that you know you use on a regular. Okay, so if you know you got an Apple phone sitting in your pocket or sitting in your wallet, you know you got the Apple Watch on, why not be an owner and a consumer? You want to get into a fund, which is super simple, very easy for beginner investors. Buy $20 of VTI. Okay, VTI, Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, is a great fund for beginners. A zillion companies inside of that one fund. Okay, if you know what type of investor you want to be kind of hands-on. I'm very hands-on when it comes to our investments, especially as I continue to learn and research and understand. I have a very hands-on approach. Some people want a hands-off approach, and that is okay, guys. You want to just put your money in VTI. You picked a solid fund. Just put your money in VTI and keep it. You can keep it moving and watch your money grow over time. So again, guys, you have a lot of options. It's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to being an investor. Idea is just you want to grow your money over time. All of these options are much safer and better, honestly, than just keeping your money in a savings account. Okay, guys, keep your emergency fund, keep your sinking funds, but outside of that, invest in the stock market. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below. Which beginner-friendly app or platform would you suggest for beginners? Okay, now keep in mind the beginner. Okay, notice I did not say Interactive Brokers. That is not a beginner-friendly app, in my humble opinion. But I love Interactive Brokers, and we have a lot of our growth stocks and a lot of money sitting over in Interactive Brokers, but it's not for beginners. Okay, guys? So thank you so much again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye-bye.